So, last time the group finished with their task, but broken in many ways, they headed back to Jordan Cacklebrow's hut. The group got a potion of longevity, which de-aged Alexander almost a decade, but far from his age of 19. Deciding to venture out and explore a bit more. Before going back to the cavern, they discovered some salt deposits and not much else but plains, hills, trees, and the decorations of goblins. Upon their return, some letters awaited them, and Ixaden, Atlas, and Fel decided to make a trip into Javar, and this is where we will pick up our session as you guys leave the forest of your kingdom. Everyone, sorry that James is not going to be here tonight, but we will do a one-off session detailing his adventures in Javar. So, I leave it to you two as you leave the forest on your way to Javar.
So, I guess just outside of it, we're looking, both meetings are roughly around the same time, scheduled-wise.
You're not quite sure on the dwarf. The dwarven meeting, it just said I. Yeah, that means that they might have been waiting there for a couple weeks. It might be a couple weeks until they get there. You're not quite sure. You'll find out when you get there, though.
Just by chance, Atlas, how much coin we got on us right now?
I don't think I have much at all.
I don't think I do either. Which may be an issue. If,
I will say I don't think I gave any to Alexander. So I'm seeing I have 300 gold. I have 50 gold and 25 platinum.
We got enough to pay off some bar bills then. Not saying that we'll need to, but if your best way to a dwarf's heart is through his liver.
Like
for sure.
With a blade? No.
No.
Not these dwarves, other dwarves.
Oh, sure. Other dwarves. Okay.
So this other house we're meeting with, just looking for trade and finance, or what are we doing with them?
It's a renegotiation. I don't think it'll be a hostile renegotiation, but I wouldn't put it out of mind. I think one of the first things we do when we need to get to town is keep a low profile. I'm purposely getting us there days before she said she'd be there. Who knows, right? I have my thoughts. She said that she's going on the retreat or her vacation or whatever. Mm-hmm. If I could find out where she lives prior to our meeting, that could be advantageous. So I just like to comb the area and figure out if she's there. If she's already there, then that plan's out the window. But if this is really like a lodge, say she has a lodge or something, some vacation home or whatever, when it eventually becomes empty, I'd like to visit it and snoop a bit.
Okay. Just make sure that snooping doesn't turn unhostile negotiations hostile.
Yeah, I'm not going to push it too much because I think we're coming here under good terms, and we have a lot of negotiation power. I really was hoping to discuss the deal with everybody, but originally it was 5,000 gold, 10 laborers for 10%. And I think that's low on both gold and laborers because we've already got... First thing, she can't know about the goblins. That's the first thing, right? She just needs to know that we have laborers. And so her investing 10 laborers into an operation of 40 laborers already is very low. We're going to need more than that to build this city.
I'm not sure you're going to get dwarves too happy about sharing a mine with goblins either, so we can leave the gold, I guess, to them, and we can give our dwarves salt and bronze, because that's the only other thing we got.
And that's the shame, too, right? It's like I'd rather give the craftsmen the gold, right? But unfortunately, it's going to smell like goblin shit. And so I would rather the dwarves mine the gold and then the goblins do the salt, because I don't think they can really fuck up salt. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure where you were a couple days ago during all this, but I guess it is what it is.
Well, to be honest, out of character, Zach had no idea that about the dwarves or the gnomes. I still don't even know where the gnomes are. The
The
gnomes,
gnomes are actually mined in the bronze back at our caves.
The
Deep
copper.
gnomes.
The copper.
Gnomes
Copper, sorry, not
are
bronze, copper.
mining
Bronze.
the copper. Okay.
Right.
Um,
Wouldn't make sense to mine bronze. Right. Okay.
But, I mean, obviously, that they're not going to be happy about the goblins. That's its own problem that we need to solve. And I already am really starting to rethink the goblins quite a lot. It's not a problem that's out of hand yet, but honestly,
Well, I mean, I think what we might be able to do, if we can trade them, I don't think it's a horrible idea to give them the salt.
yes,
And
they can't mess up salt.
We'll get them food. We'll negotiate something with them. We'll have to kind of play that diplomatic game. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can phrase it of you'll get salt or you'll get nothing.
Yeah, or the sword.
Right. So salt or steel.
Salt or
Right.
steel. So the salt mines are empty right now, right? So we could just go to the goblins and kick them out, have the men clean up as best as we can, say that the goblins were inhabitants of the mine, but they're not a problem anymore, and go from there. I really challenge the goblin. I'm trying to look at it from the benefit the goblins could bring by mining salt versus the problem they will 100% present in the future. I do not think that it outweighs itself. I don't think the goblins are any use to us. An empty salt mine is of more use to us than a goblin salt mine.
I agree.
It become a problem at some point in time. But we can't obviously deal with that now. But what I do want to tell her is we have laborers, that our operation in the last 2.5 months has grown 500%, if not more, and that we have samples for more mines. But I'm only going to bring those up if the conversation goes that direction.
And what I'd like to bring to Clinigan, we got Gnomes in the Mine. He doesn't know anything about gold. He doesn't know anything about salt. And to be honest, you may be better at handling those types of negotiations than me. I tend to have a few tells. But ultimately, Clinigan at his heart is more of an explorer, find the stuff, and then mine it. And that's really how I phrased the area to him. We do have the copper. Gnomes are doing it if they want to dig deeper into that, but they may be able to find stuff. I mean, they're dwarves. They may be able to find stuff in caves we've already explored, and just by pounding on it with a hammer a couple times, I've seen them do amazing stuff.
If we look at the world map, isn't there mountain ranges to the south that we've not yet explored?
You want the regional map or the world map?
No,
regional.
Like if you do, it's the Wildlands map in the handouts is what I would call it. Because there's a bunch of mountain ranges.
We have Tamp's Cave that we found, but we never really explored this area.
So that's where I think we should set them up at, because you were talking about establishing a new home. And I think that building the city south of here, which puts us in touch with trading partners, is probably a better choice. Obviously, it's a council meeting discussion.
I agree.
But with Clinigan, right, we should set him loose on that mountain range, or the mountain range that you created.
Well, the mountain range that I created is where the goblins are.
Oh, okay.
So let's keep him.
The goblins you met were initially there, but they fled from this mine right here.
But that's all stuff the artifact created.
That has been there.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that you really created on this small scale was this like 50 some odd mile mountain range.
I mean, I'd still be inclined to keep them towards Tam's Cave, and you know what? Who knows? They might find more in Tam's Cave that we didn't discover.
That sounds great. I think that compartmentalization is the best way forward with the dwarves. We just set them here with you and I agreeing that this is probably the right place to build a village, or as the start of the city, right?
Where? Just real quick.
Right around Tam's Cave. I think it's as good a place as any. We've got the river. We've got woods not too far away.
Okay.
I think it's really nice from a strategic sense as well, because we have mountain ranges to the east and west of us, which means that most of the attacks would have to...
Hello?
I think a lot of sense to set up there.
Sorry, was that just me?
No, that was my oven.
No, I couldn't hear you. It really froze up.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I heard him fine through that.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
I think I'm
All right.
trying to think of some rather unfortunate ways to keep them in control. I was thinking about what a decimation of their forces would be, because goblins only respect power; they don't respect negotiation. So I'm thinking we need to visit every month and have them sacrifice to us or something. I know it's barbaric. I'm serious. I know it's barbaric, but to keep goblins in line, as long as we need them in line,
Well, the virgins are all yours, my friend.
you can't be kind to goblins. That's the problem, and I hate saying it.
I didn't
really
know that
do.
there was goblin virgins.
Well, for a couple weeks.
For a couple weeks.
All right. So, anyways, those are all the discussions, right? I really just want to hear her out. I want to hear about the Council of Five and what the political status is as she sees it, and I want to hear what her first demand is, and from there, I'll evaluate the next direction. I could talk to the dwarves if you'd like, but I think that they're not going to respect me any more than they respect you, so it's already going in at a disadvantage.
I mean, I've done some work with the guy in the past. Just giving you a little backstory into our meeting. I've kind of helped. You know, they're looking for something on a map. I've helped to kind of scout stuff out. I've helped to look for it. They've always kind of gone into the caves, done the digging and everything like that. But they've kind of relied on me to give them reliable information, what's in the area, things like that. So we've had a decent working relationship. There's always been issues along the way, stuff that was underreported potentially that I missed. No, it doesn't happen often, but for the most part, we've had a long working business relationship. The fact that he got back to me at least says that he's interested. I just think you're better with words than I am. That'd be a main reason to keep you along.
Yeah, I'll discuss it. I'll discuss it with him. That's fine. I think as long as we agree on our very multi-threaded, twisted back end plan, that the forward plan is we set up shop, build our city near Tam's Cave. The others can find out about it later and make that decision with us. But we set the dwarves free there, and we've got multiple operations, and I think that's nice from a diversification of resources perspective, because you don't want to centralize everything. This is a large area that we already know many stronger powers are trying to get into, right? So the more we know, the more we see, the better we are, and we can set up some trade routes and really get some coverage of this area. So whenever the dwarves are there, I assume, Matt, can we just kind of show up and we both want to play like low key, right? I don't want Torhana's people I want to see them first, right? I want to feel them out. I want to know what inn they're staying at. I want to know
I gotcha.
as much detail as I can about them. I want to observe them, get close to them, try and figure out her structure to a certain extent. I know who her assistant is, but if she brought anyone else that she respects or is within her fold, I want to know who they are.
Okay.
You mean
Absolutely.
the inn we stayed at before? I think that's a good as place as I need to start.
Do you remember which one that was by chance?
I don't.
The My Fair Pixie, was that the one? I think so.
That doesn't sound familiar.
There's the Boar's Nest.
Boar's Nest, I think, sounds a little
Okay.
more familiar to me.
Yeah. All right. In which case, you guys continue on for a couple more days, essentially, and you notice something odd as you approach the town of Javar. The once expansive farmlands that ruled the outer limits of Javar now seem to be converted into some... You're not quite sure. The ground is uprooted for sure. It takes a little bit, a couple more hours to get closer, and you determine it to be massive grave sites.
Holy shit. So the farmland is straight converted to grave sites,
Like
or was there also
Some
other
of it
terrain
is,
changes?
yeah. There's still farmland out there, but notable farms that you have rode past before are essentially just massive grave sites.
Are they all of them marked enough that it would look like, you know, a single body and a single plot?
No. We're talking like pits.
Mass graves.
Yeah, mass graves. You have certain ones that are covered up. You have a couple people visiting it, dropping off lilies and roses and.
So Javar was a city of 12,000.
It was.
Just assuming. What numbers am I thinking now?
You're thinking at least, at the bare minimum, this 500 dead at least, maybe more.
What's the top number that I'm thinking?
The highest
Worst
number,
case.
you're thinking around 3,000.
Jesus Christ! I have to be a little bit better at.
I mean,
estimating than that.
you don't know how many people are
They're pits.
in. Yeah, they're just massive pits. They're not individual graves. So in between that, yeah.
Is there any other like terrain changes? Is it fire?
Not that you can really see right here. You know, it's been a good part of a month since you activated the gem.
Okay, and we haven't been back here since.
You haven't been back there at all since that whole entire incident.
Let's be clear, since Fel activated the gem. It's been a month.
There are some people waiting around the graves as you approach Javar.
We ride up to one of them.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
He just gives you a nod. Older looking farmer, the straw hat, bright green eyes, suntanned skin. What can I do for you?
What happened? It's been a little while since we've been back here, but Javar's always
That's the
been.
damnedest thing. Nobody really knows. Just massive waves carrying all sorts of junk from the bottom of the sea really destroyed the coastal district of Javar. At last I count, there is around 1,800 or 2,200 dead. Still removing bodies from some wreckage. Recommend you stay away from the coastal district.
We got undead. Anything turning? Anything coming back?
No, nothing as magical as that. Just poverty is pretty bad. Food shortage. Man, it's been one hell of a winter. I'll tell you that.
Wow. I heard that something similar happened to Devrin.
News is just getting over here. Yeah. Their messes, their losses are far worse than ours.
Do you know what those numbers were?
Around 8 to 12,000, I think. But most of it,
12,000?
yeah. Most of that were just homeless, right on the docks, eking out a meager living. Luckily, they had that seawall right there that displaced most of the blast, but that seawall came crumbling down, and the docks are just completely vanquished over there. There's not much left as far as trade routes go overseas. Just what I heard. It's sad times we live in.
What's leadership doing about it?
Promise and rebuild, I guess. I don't know. That's their problem. You do know that Aerodenia is not the same country as where Javar is. It's close to the border, but Javar is actually part of Aerodine, which is not home to Devron. But it's just a neighboring country, and there are some ties there. But he goes, don't really know their politics, so I can't tell you much about that.
What kind of recovery source did they send anyone? Is the army here? Is there anybody here to help? From Eridan?
Oh yeah, some forces from Erelon supposed to be getting here any month now. It's taken a while to organize a force to travel this far. We're on the ass end of this place.
And these forces, they're coming for aid, right? I mean, it's not military.
Yeah.
It's
you have like the local militias and things like that, volunteer work. A lot of town guard probably organize the group, so it's not necessarily a military effort, but the military is best suited for the infrastructure purposes, I guess.
Do you know exactly when this happened? When this tidal wave hit?
Yeah, and he gives you a date, and you recognize that as the date as you touch the gem.
That's heavy, man. So, despite this obvious tragedy, has anything changed inside of the city? Population-wise, are there visitors from other regions? Like, what?
Yeah, some stuff certainly happening. You got various, street corner preachers saying the end is nigh, things of that ordeal. Excuse me, I have to really get back to work. It's best you just find out for yourself, Thanks for giving me the 5-minute breather. I appreciate that, but I really gotta get back to digging.
Sorry to take up your time.
Farewell.
All right. You guys head into Javar?
Yeah, let's keep going. My big thing is I want to make sure there's not a giant ass military waiting for me while I walk my ass in there. So
yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think I can get in, get out before this Ireland forces show up.
Yeah.
That's what's on my mind.
Okay. So as you walk in there, sure enough, there's some people dressed in ratty robes. Heaven is nigh! The powerful cult has arisen. Evil is being led into the world again. And things of that type nature is all around much different from last time you were here. Last time you were here is kind of a nice trading city, reasonable population, 12,000 folk, complete shift. It seems that maybe some religion is helping out the people and more people are prone or susceptible to hear them out, especially given like 18 or 15% of their people were just wiped out.
Can I make like a religion check? Are they naming the god or any?
I'm looking to see if I can figure out what god that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ha!
You guys can't really place it at the moment. Maybe it'll come to you later.
Was it 1D? It's 1
Oh my
5,
god!
right? That's -1, right?
Yeah,
So we both. Fuck. Are we still doing that rule in this campaign, or are you over it?
No, I'm over that rule, so don't worry about that.
Oh,
actually, sorry.
Okay.
I'll let you know what the new rule is later.
Sounds good. Jesus, Felwood had -2 to religion. It's like, this is the time to get rid of that rule.
Yeah.
Well,
just like
to be honest with you, the gods are all dead right now, man.
Yeah.
The gods are all dead.
So neither of us have any idea. I'll talk to a street preacher. I'm okay with it.
I'm making my way right to the boars.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
I'll meet up with them. I want to know about this again.
All
trying
right,
to figure
Phil.
out the power structure, right?
Phil takes off towards the boar's nest. You let him know that you'll meet up with him. You approach the preacher. A lost soul! Hello!
Depends who's asking on who's lost. I mean, it seems I've never seen you in this city before. What brings you here?
Well, do you not go to the Church of Helm, my dear man?
Oh my god. I'm gonna flip my fucking shit.
Oh my god.
God damn it. Church of Helm. Alright. I'm serious. I'm getting on this anti-Helm bandwagon. Alright. Be like, no, actually, I'm not a follower, but I don't mind the concept.
Dragon attacks at a small outpost to the northeast of here. Dragon Hunters Guild barging into the city itself. Evil is surely arisen in the hearts of mankind and the world.
Helm is the god of protection. Protection generally comes before the crisis. Where was your god?
Obviously, our small mortal matters are beneath him at the moment. If we are wreaking destruction on this plane of existence at this moment, he only knows what kind of catastrophes are in the astral sea.
You mentioned the dragon hunting party. Are they here?
Yes, the Dragon Hunters Guild is here in Javar. Yes, they're setting up. They're applying. They're undergoing some bureaucracy at the moment. But enough about that. Evil, my good man, is being brought into the world, and we need faithful. We need the divine. We need the protection and strong arm of good men like you. What do you say? And he hands you a pamphlet.
I'll take the pamphlet. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I tell him I'm genuinely. Your god has failed to protect those that he's sworn to protect. I think I'll align with one that's
10,000 of us still live. Heathen! Everyone look at the heathen as he walks away. And there's a group of like 20 or so people around him. Be not like him. Come and get a pamphlet and join. As you walk away towards the boar's nest. Unless you're staying there. Sorry, did I misread that? Did I misread that? Were you staying there or were you walking away?
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. I just am not going to sign up is all. I'm also not trying to make a spectacle of myself. So as much as I would want to say straight to what I want to, I'm just trying to.
Well, he points you out and you have your hood up and people all looking at you. Heathen! One throws a tomato at you. Rotten tomato. You easily dodge it. Because, they're like level 1 peasants. Fel, on your way to the boar's nest, you and Exaden notice a caravan that's oddly out of place. Colorful carriages, and the people out there are wearing vibrant clothing with various medals that hang about them. And Exaden goes, "Excuse me, Fel, I will be back shortly."
I barely hear him.
Okay. And Exaden goes away, and you continue ways to the boar's nest. And as you open the door, let's see, you hear, "Ha ha ha ha! Hey, any one of you plains people want to come have a real dwarven stout? Come over here. Let me take you back to the homeland. Good old foam breaker will break you right out of these wussy ales." I switched back to the old Roll20 video. We'll see if this works.
Okay. Not only did you just kill a few thousand people, you killed potentially 1 million people. Think about the entire world, right? Every coastal town.
Let's be honest. You know what the worst part of that is, dude? I don't get any of the XP for it.
True.
All right, so what part did I start cutting out for you guys?
Clinigan Foambreaker challenging people to drink real foam, and that was basically it.
He's sitting on top of the table as you walk in. His back's to you.
I think right now I could use a good mug. What do you got?
Do my squat, short dwarven ears hear a high and tidy elf? And he turns around. So it does. Come here, you bastard. And he gives you a hug.
Give the handshake hug.
All right. Good to see you. It's been years and years.
It's been just a few, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say before we get catching up and discussing anything, it is incredibly dry out there, and I'm needing something.
Yes. Well, let's get something to drink.
Good enough. I just want to survey how many other dwarves look to be with him.
scattered around, there are 16 other dwarves that all seem to be bearing Foambreaker's mark. Basically, just a very his mark is like a little seal, a very angular dwarf face with beard of foam, essentially. And they're all wearing it like around their shoulder or something, or emblazoned on their armor or sword hilt, and you see around 16 others.
I didn't keep you waiting long, did I?
Oh, we've been waiting for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh.
Got here right after the festivities. Ha ha! Oh, what kind of world is this, huh?
A god-abandoned one, it seems, huh?
Oh, yeah, that
Minus-
it does.
Minus Moradin and Clagadin and... I don't know for Forgotten Realms or whoever the dwarven gods may be.
Yes, of course.
But I got an associate of mine. But I'd like to go in a little deeper detail if we can't get ourselves somewhere a little more private to speak.
Yes. I have a room reserved, actually. It's the dining, a separate dining hall. This used for parties and things like that. I've been on reserve for a while. It's cost me about 50 gold. Not much, mind you. Not much at all.
No.
But
Well, and when you hear some of the fortunes ahead of you, I'll tell you what.
I
There's,
can only imagine.
There's a lot of untapped land out there.
All right. As you start gathering people, Atlas walks in.
I just scan and just go straight to Fel and take a seat. Well, if I see he's with the dwarf, I'm going to get a beer, and then come sit down.
I'll introduce, and
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Clinigan Foambreaker.
Nice to meet you. My name is Atlas.
Atlas.
Ian got
family.
himself a clan.
Yeah, I would say
clan.
no clan.
Atlas Foambreaker, yeah. All right, so let's go in here and get some business done. His demeanor changes suddenly. And all 16 of the other dwarves come in, and they're just sitting around. And they look pretty stout, but sitting at either of his sides both, are 2 dwarves that look kind of similar. And behind him stands another dwarf. They seem to be kind of his inner circle, so to speak. So, what be the nature of our business?